So when you're editing an image, so sometimes you have this halo effect. As you can see, a white border around a blue object on the top of this picture, and you need to remove that. And feather and shift edge effect in Photoshop helps you do that. Similarly, once you move the background to a different background, you lose the shadow of the object, and you can re-establish the shadow using a drop shadow effect in Photoshop. So let's see that in action. So here our goal is, on the left you have two tools, a wrench basically on a white background. I want to transfer them to a dark background, but when we do that, initially you see a halo effect which we will remove, and then we will also learn how to add a drop shadow effect so that the photos appear more realistic, and we can also achieve a kind of 3D effect using this. So let's see how can we do this in Photoshop. Let me open this tools.psd file. So here I have two layers, the tools picture which was taken against a white background, and this is the background. I really want the tools to be shown on this background, right? So basically what we need to do is first highlight the tools background, go to select and use a select subject, right? So this will identify the tools and create a boundary around it, and this uses artificial intelligence behind the scenes. Based on the color demarcation, it identifies these objects. So it has identified the objects nicely, and you can again use a lasso tool to fine tune this. You can examine the border by zooming in and see if it's not doing a good job anywhere. I think it's doing a good job, so we are good here. Then you click on select and mask to take it to a new workspace where you can do more fine tuning on this mask. Okay, so now you see that once you place these tools on that dark background, you see a nice, you see a white halo around the tools, and that is happening because of these tools were taken initially against a white background. So how can we get rid of it? So there are two controls that we can make use of here. One is called feather and the other one is called shift edge. Okay, so the feather control, in order to see this control in action, let me move the view to a black and white mode, so where you can see this controls in action. So let's go back to feather. So the feather control is used to spread the border rather than just showing a black and white border. It'll add the shades. So let me show you that in action. So I'm going to slide this slider slightly to the right. So as you can see here, the borders is getting a little bit of gray. Let me do it more. As you can see, it's adding the shades of gray, right? When I control the feather. So it's increasing the shades of gray around the border as I move the feather. As you can see, it's blending, it's trying to blend the tools in the background. Okay, so you can use this, and the shift edge is going to change the border towards inside or outside. So let me show you by sliding with the edge. Right, and if I slide to the right, it is shifting that the border intensity to outside. Right, so using these two controls, you should be able to remove the halo effect. So let me go back to the actual view. Okay, right now you see a bright white shadow, right? Halo effect. We want to remove that. So let's try moving feather to the left. And then right shift edge also, let a little bit of left. Let's see what happens. Okay, It is much better, right? Slightly to the left. It is even better, right? Let me try more. A little bit more. You can also try, you can keep fine tuning it until you're happy with the way the halo effect is gone. So by this time, as you can see, the halo effect is completely gone. This is becoming bad, so I'm shifting to the right. Okay, so this looks much better, right? So this is how you remove the halo effect from the picture. So if I select OK, and then I can add a mask. So now our image, our tools are ready and the halo effect is gone. Another thing that you might be interested is to add a shadow effect so that the background looks more realistic. So to do that, I'm going to click on this FX bottom here, over here, and then click on drop shadow. So there are multiple options here, right? When you have the drop shadows, to select the contour, the distance, spread, size. Let me keep the default and show you what happens. When you do this, you will see cross two arrows, the mouse changing into two arrows. And now you will see also shadows, right? As you strike to the left and slide to the left or right, you can position the shadows the way you want, depending on where you want your lights to appear. So if you want from top, the shadow would appear something like this. And this also gives a little bit more of 3D picture. If you want shadow to the left, you can do that, or a little bit up, that you can do that. I'm going to keep it to this level. Looks more real, okay? And that's how you add a drop shadow. That's about it. Now our picture is ready. You can save it. You can export it as PNG or export it as JPEG. Save on your computer. Format is JPEG, tools.jpg. Okay. I want to make sure it is saved on my desktop. It's not. I'm going to save it on my desktop. Select as a JPEG. Let me go back to my desktop. And this is your JPEG file where you see tools with a nice dark background along with the drop shadow effect.